welcome back. The special election for the county's council's at-large seat is exactly 2 weeks away. And in the coming weeks, CTV will introduce you to each of those candidates. But joining us in the studio today is candidate Leo Eyombo. Mr. Eyombo, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much, Ms. Newton.
All right. Well, you unsuccessfully ran for county council in 2022. Sir, why are you now running for the at-large seat?
I'm running for the at-large seat because I think our county urgently needs change. I think electing the same people repeatedly has resulted to a lot of ethical issues. And it's time for a new direction in the county. As a graduate of Prince George's County Public School, specifically Suitland High School class of 1990, I attribute most of my academic success with an Ivy League education from the foundations rooted from what I got from PG County schools. And with a doctorate from Columbia, a doctorate from Lyceum Northwestern, an MBA from Morgan State, an MS from Howard, an MA from Columbia, an MS from Columbia, I think I can really contribute to the county.
Okay.
And I think this is the time to do it.
And you are from Prince George's County, so what are some of those changes that you would like to see in the county? What are your top priorities?
You might think this might not be a priority, but one of my top priorities is actually making sure that residents of PG County actually pay rent on the 10th of the month. We paid on the 5th. Why do we do that? In Montgomery County, they are way richer than us. They're richer than 16 states. They pay rent on the 10th. So why should we stress our citizens an extra 5 days, clog the court system with litigations for the possession of property, when we should give people 5 more days to pay their rent? And that's not an issue that the county council think is pressing. Why? Because most of them are mortgages. So they don't think it's an issue. Second issue is PG County schools. I mentioned earlier on that I'm a graduate, a proud graduate of PG County schools. But the curriculum is obsolete. You know, we are using analog curriculum when actually we should be using AI. And there's a big disconnect there. And every time they get a new superintendent, I just sit and laugh because it's doing the same thing over and over. For us to compete and have a society where our students can really compete in the real world, I think we should revamp the curriculum. And taking it from a guy that wrote the first book on minority education, virtual learning, and technology, I think I can contribute to that.
And let's go a little bit back to rent and issues of housing in the county. What are your thoughts on affordable housing?
I think we need more affordable housing. I think the county needs to, I know they talk about a rent bill. I think it's all a charade because there should be more restrictions on that. And if they really want to make true changes, some of those really small changes like allowing residents to pay 5 extra days of rent will be monumental. And what happens is that accumulatively over time, that is 5% penalty fees on punitive fees on citizens that can really afford to have a savings account. So those 5% penalties that go to the landlords that really don't need the 5%, and I'm a commercial landlord, so they don't probably need it. So they should save it. The residents should save that 5% and have that money at the end of the year. So you will be happy with paying rent 5 days later if I'm elected.
Yeah, and you have a lot of years of experience in health and social services. So what are your top priorities or priorities for public health?
I do believe that in our school system, coming back to the schools, we need to make sure that we involve our parents. Parental involvement is a lot important for us to maintain public safety. I know in some forums people always say, well, the kids, they run around, they're not serious. But one thing you have to know is that whenever a parent is involved, there are less issues with the kids. And then the society is a whole lot safer. So we need to be able to hire more police officers, but not put them in the schools. I believe in a school-free police environment. So we should also provide a lot of mental support in the police department and in the schools.
And in a past interview, you actually said that you're sick of traffic camera. Can you kind of break that down for me?
Yes, I think traffic cameras have turned out to be a punitive tool for the poor. Everywhere you go, every jurisdiction you go, they have excessive traffic cameras. And coming from a scientific point of view, I do believe that those cameras should not be a way to punish the poor, but it should be a way to actually get results out of basic research and results, to put those cameras in locations where you can actually save lives.
And going back to the education, you said that you don't think that school resource officers are needed. Tell me more about that. Why do you think that school resource officers should not be in schools?
As a school research police officers.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, you can have people that are there. I went to certain high school. We did have security guards or resource officers, like you call them, but they were not in there with guns. I think we send the wrong message when we send kids to school, and then we bring police officers with guns. And I'm saying this from experience of a black man in America and my interaction with the police officers on the streets. So we need to be able to at least make an environment that is education friendly and not, trying to bring fear into the schools. So that's my point.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Eyombo, so much.
Thank you very much for starting.
All right. Well, make sure you tune in as we introduce another candidate, Angela Angel.